Hello, my name is Luca, and today we'll be looking at arguably the worst flood in the history of the world, the 1931 Central China floods. A flood is an overflow of water that submerges land that usually lacks vegetation and is very dry. In the sense of flowing water, the word may also be applied to the inflow of the tide. Floods are an area of study of the discipline hydrology and are significant concerns to agriculture, civil engineering, and public health. China is an example of a very old civilization, and many of China's oldest cities are built near the rivers. These rivers have flooded throughout Chinese history, but no flood was worse than the one that happened in 1931. In this year, three of China's biggest rivers, the Yellow, Yangtze, and Hao, all flooded, causing the most catastrophic and destructive floods the world has ever seen. Between the actual floods and the problems they created, somewhere between 1 million and 4 million people were killed. Even in a civilization as ancient as China, this was one of the worst natural disasters ever recorded to do with the river. It flooded due to poor management and constant transport of boats and things like that. During stage 1 of the flooding, over 150,000 people died. This was a very sad event, but all of this was caused directly by them drowning. Due to primitive technology, they could not stop or slow down the flooding. Many of the world's oldest civilizations were built next to the river. It makes sense really, rivers provide fresh water for drinking, fish for food, and irrigation for farming, and a natural protection from attack from other villages and civilizations. The floods destroyed a lot of housing and farmland, leaving many homeless and starving. Throughout the whole Yangtze Valley, around 15% of the wheat and rice crops were destroyed. By early August 1931, one of the most populous regions in the world was underwater. Altogether, 4 million people died as a cause of the flood. The economy loss was equal to 1.5 years' net income per family. In modern days, in a flood, the first thought for many people's mind is to get to higher ground, which isn't a bad choice. Others may decide it's safer to stay inside their house. Emergency crews will start to line areas with sandbags to try and stop the flood from damaging more land, whilst others try to rescue those in distress. However, people in 1931 didn't have the ability to line places with mass amount of sandbags, or the proper rescue equipment to rescue everyone. Entire bloodlines were wiped out, and countless history records were destroyed. The amount of things that we could know were all destroyed because of that one flood. And yet, knowing that this river had flooded before, there wasn't much they could do, as they just lacked the technology. They couldn't just build a dam or anything like that. This was the worst flood in the history of the world, the 1931 Central China floods. Thank you for watching.